Hello viewers, my name is Lake Jolie Grace Andruville. I am the founder and CEO of WEND Africa. WEND Africa is Women Empowerment Network and Design. We are based out of Gulu in northern Uganda. Yeah, we are a community-based organization. I would say we are a social enterprise. We support people, but at the same time we sell the products that we make. So basically what we do is to help young girls and young women formerly abducted to achieve their dreams, especially with skilling. So what did we do? How did we do it? What happened way in 2003 when we started Invisible Children that was advocating for the end of the war in northern Uganda. We were basically focusing on advocacy to get support for the war to end, but we also realized that on top of the education that we were giving, we also realized that the economic empowerment was very important. So we used that program of economic empowerment and we named it MEND because we were mending the heart of the women. And we produced a lot of products that we sold out to help us raise funding, and which was very successful. We raised about 60 billion, built 11 government schools, paid 10,000 children in school. But when peace came to northern Uganda, things changed. So we said instead of aid, let's move into trade. So we changed from MEND and I changed it to WEND, which is now Women Empowerment Network and Design. So the same women continued with their work. We produce products, we produce handbags, we produce crafts, and we've been selling it. We have been selling it in Uganda, we have been selling it abroad, and we have managed to hit bigger markets. Our mission is actually, one, we want to empower the community through skilling, because that is one way that the young people are able to get employment. Our second vision is that the world has grown because of the products they make. So for us, we believe that the products we make from Uganda should first of all be consumed in the country, but also hit the outside market. And our vision is to ensure that we progress in industrialization, because it is very, very important for our country to produce and sell. So that is our core value. The aim of objective for this is actually to empower the women. Let the women have jobs, let the women get education, because most of these women are school dropouts. So one of the vision that we have is actually to give them basic training in literacy, finance literacy. Those are some of the basic things that we do. One thing that I want the world to know is that after 20 years of war and 2 generations, I would say, is gone, a generation that depended on handouts, these have had a big effect. Leave alone the ordinary poverty that we talk of, but the trauma. And then people in northern Uganda are so, I would say, traumatized in a way that I feel the self-esteem is completely down. And as such, with the lack of employment, with the poverty, the lack of education, is very, very difficult right now for the youth, the young people in northern Uganda to recover. And as such, what we are looking at is to give the basic. One thing that I know is that so many formerly abducted are still struggling. A lot of them are struggling because, one, they came back with children. Some children don't have identity. Some of these kids are already grown because the mothers were forced to be wives. They have come back and now they're struggling on how to survive. First of all, their mothers are not educated, their fathers are not there. So these are kids, I would say they are lost kids. But leave alone that alone. There are parents who came out from the IDP camp and they went back. People have lost their origin. Some of them really don't know what to do. And besides that, because of the life in the IDP camp, it has made it very difficult to bring up children the traditional way actually people used to bring up their children. So those are some of the challenges. The war has a long effect. When I founded out Invisible Children, one thing that happened for real in northern Uganda, there was a lot of NGOs. I wouldn't even tell back in the days, hundreds and hundreds. People came for emergency relief, and there were distribution of food, distribution of like blankets and all that. But for me, when I came, I left my job and came back to northern Uganda and founded Invisible Children. My focus was basically on human resource. How do I help the young children come up? So the big vision was to pick children and put them in school. So that is basically what we did. We put over 10,000 kids in school, and now they're professionals. And the ripple effects, you can tell, because a family that never expected to get a doctor now has a doctor. A family that never expected to have a lawyer, now we have lawyers, we have nurses and all that. So with that achievement, we also look, when we hit the target of 5,000 kids in school, we realized that because of the war, we came in to support the government of Uganda and build the schools. For example, Sacred Heart, Laibi College, Gulu High, 11 government schools, because our target was to reduce the ratio of students per teacher. For example, in Gulu Senior Secondary School, when we came on board, there was about 90 students per teacher. You know, so we reduced that by ensuring that we have the classrooms are there. And now as I speak, people ask, why didn't you build your own school? We looked at sustainability. As putting money in government school, it was very easy for it to be sustainable. And now we are proud that we have put those buildings there, but the government has taken over. So those were our vision, long term, to make sure human resources taken care of, but also to make sure there was enough space for people to get education. What happens at WEND is that we produce products here that we sell, and also we do training. Actually, why we are a social enterprise is because we also sell and receive money, but also we provide free training. Right now, as I speak, we are training 30 women at one go to make sure that they get the skilling. What we do is apprenticeship. Some of them who are very highly skilled, we keep them to continue working with them. But some of them, we give them opportunity to go out there and actually look for jobs or start their own tailoring center. So that is basically what happens here, and we are proud that right now every product that we are making, for example, now we are championing Uganda leather. We are very proud of His Excellency, the President of Uganda, for the vision of having a tannery in Uganda. When we discovered that, that was a game changer for us, because originally we used to get leather from Los Angeles, or we get from Ethiopia. Sometimes we bring from China. But now we have tested for the last 1 year, ever since we started buying the Uganda leather and started selling it in the outside market. It has actually proven to be the best leather ever. And it has changed how we sell our product, because now the quality is much higher than what we used to do. Because originally we used to think it was craft, you know, African craft and all this, but now we really produce products that internationally we can compete with other people. Basically, you know, actually people who are mainly doing agriculture, I would say it was mixed farming. When I was growing up, here was a mixed farm. There were people who are rearing animals, but then there were also people who are doing farming. So now basically the challenge, I would say, of what has shocked people is like when the Balalo came, the number of cows they have. And when you realize that the people here have nothing. So that has created a kind of rift. But also when you realize the question that you always ask, how did they get to that land? I have asked that question. How did they get to that land? And one thing that you look at, people here, because of poverty and because of lack of exposure, they're actually disposing of their land at a very cheap cost. But then you realize that these investors who come, are the ones now doing more productive. And I think that has really demotivated also the Acholi people, because there are people who are coming from outside and they're doing much better than them. So that has been the challenge. It's still mindset change. One thing that I would say should be done is the mindset change. But also I think, I know that there's an executive order of the president for some of these people to leave, because these people have not come alone on their own. They have also collaborated with some people from here. But I also say some of these collaborators are people who have run for quick money. They've got the quick money. Now they realize that they have not even used the money from the land that have been occupied to do something more productive. So what should be done here is that Acholi people need to know how much value they have on their land. That will be a game changer. And for me, I say that should be an exposure, that these people need to get out there and see how people are utilizing their land. The president is talking about the 4-acre model. There are people who own hundreds of acres. So there are 4-acre model. Being it practical, I have seen the president's model farm in Kaumo, and I'm very impressed about that. So the 4-acre model is what people need to get to know more how it works. But also the government needs to support people more. PDM is doing well, but I also realize that it is a small amount of money for you to grow out of 1 million to get to another level, but it's better than nothing. So people who are capable, who can actually do the 4-acre model, I want, if the president will think about this, is to support few individuals with the 4-acre model, and this would be a learning point to people who own land outside there and they're not using it. The future plan of WEND is one, we are now proud of the leather being made in Uganda. We want to transform into a trade school, produce but also train people. So we want to champion, now that we have got grant from GROW, we want to champion a leather school in northern Uganda, because world over, leather is actually gold. So we want to champion a leather school, use our own leather, produce, train more people to do that. But on the other side, we want also to do a hospitality industry, because that is also something that is very big. But basically we want to champion as a training school, as a trade school, where people can come and learn businesses, people learn how to make leather. We want to start producing shoes here, which we already do, but in small scale, but actually give people skills to start up business. So that is the plan of WEND. Market and value addition of our products made in Uganda. We actually have the market. We have partnered with a very powerful company, now I would say in United States, Amazon. So we are ready if resources will be available for us, because right now we take in small bits, but they want big quantity. And as such, it has taken us back. And also the value addition is like we want to produce every product that we have to a level where people will compare our product and look at the products that come from outside and is much better than that. And as such, the local consumption is also very important for us. My appeal, especially to northern Uganda, especially the youth, is that they need to embrace working ethics, because now that is the biggest challenge. There's a little bit of laziness that you always look at the young generation. The young generation is always looking for quick money. So my appeal to them is actually to embrace every single opportunity that comes their way. They need to diversify. They cannot plant their eggs in one basket. They need to put it in different baskets. Where there is no opportunity for a white-collar job, they need to jump into skilling as one way to improve their livelihood. To the different stakeholders, I think it's time Uganda need to get away from aid and we begin looking at trade. So I ask different donors out there that are looking at supporting different initiatives to actually look at funding projects that will be long-term sustainable. For example, skilling initiative, training people in, I would say, for example, in industries that you'll straight away get jobs, or you can create your own job, because that is the biggest challenge that we have. And to the government of Uganda, our appeal is for them to support us, give us funding so that we expand in the work we are doing, because as someone who is already creating job, I look at that as an opportunity to get more people employed, because right now as I speak, we pay as you earn from the salaries that are there, and that will also increase revenue in the hands of the ordinary people, but also increase the government taxes. I completely agree with the idea of making Gulu the Dubai of Africa. Gulu is very, I would say, like, we are centered, like, in a very strategic way, because we have the national park here for tourism. We have trade. I always said that the three T's. We have tourism, we have trade, but we also have our neighbor, the Sudan, which I think we have, in this region, we have the market to actually trade with other people. But also, we are strategically located that we can actually change the trade, especially once we get the train. And then once we get the international airport, this can be very, very key for the growth of this area. So I completely agree, Gulu can easily be the Dubai of Uganda. I want to assure Ugandans out there, I am a Rotarian, and we have done quite a few events here. I would say we are blessed to receive the first governor from northern Uganda ever since the beginning of Rotary in Uganda. And the many people who came, one thing that the government has done very well in Uganda, we have the best road network. Our roads are good. Gulu City is, the layout, first of all, is the best. I've been to other cities in Uganda, but I can't compare it to Gulu. I want to appreciate the leadership of Gulu currently. Gulu is a very clean city. Actually, it's the cleanest in the country, if I would say, because you arrival, you don't see heaps of like rubbish anywhere. So credit to the mayor of Gulu City as well, who has worked so well. And I also want to say that the Gulu that people used to know of the war, Gulu is very peaceful. It's actually, I would say, it's a night, is a city that is alive at night. And as such, we appreciate the government of Uganda for accepting the peace process and bringing this war to an end. And all those organizations, internationally, locally, I would say the countries that were involved in bringing peace to northern Uganda, they don't know what we have achieved, because 15 years ago, even here, we would be left with 2 hours to leave, and you would start seeing people leaving to go and sleep on the street. But now this is a street full of businesses. We have a lot of businesses that are coming from outside, and we are very proud that Gulu actually, I would say, is more expensive than Kampala to live in Gulu because of the level of economy that is coming in Gulu. My message to the people who are so heavily involved in corruption, they have become a cancer that is killing our country. And for me, I buy the initiative of the president for using women. I am here, I say I'm a role model in my community. The resources I got, everybody in Gulu, they even now named me Mego Invisible, the mother of Invisible, because of how I utilized the resources I got very well. And as such, I've looked at not just being a businesswoman, but I've also looked at, now I'm looking at taking up leadership at a national level, so that out of my success story, the achievements that I've got, I can take it to the national level, and the discussion can change from, I have the best experience of aid to trade, which I can share with my community. So I really appreciate empowering the women. My own appeal is that the fellow women that have been empowered should actually hold the hands of very many women, Because if you want anything to be successful, put a woman, it will work out. I have been over-empowered, I would say. I've traveled all over the world, but I'm a properly married woman with 4 children. And I think that's why I'm taking up leadership, because I want a leadership position so that people can see from me. 30 years of marriage, happy marriage, good children, disciplined children, and I think it's doable. And I feel the empowerment of women should not take away their values of their family. That is key. Money should not make you look at your husband as someone else. It is how you work it together. When you're properly married, you're a happy woman. When you have resources, you have a happy family, and that is the value women in leadership should take. I want first of all to thank the President of Uganda so much for embracing, I would say, my idea, because in 2005 when I met up with him in Gulu Barracks, we interviewed him about his vision about the country, and I'm seeing it coming the way he talked about it, and he promised us that the war was going to come to an end. And he encouraged us with the documentary Invisible Children, because I told him my vision with that documentary was to support education. And I want to thank the system of Uganda government that gave us the opportunity to even build government schools, because they would have said no to our money, but now we see the fruit of what we did. And I want to thank the President so much with the Musevenomics idea, because the money economy is key. There is nothing much we are going to achieve as a country if we don't have resources in our hands. Begging is not a solution. Aid is not a solution to this country. His idea of empowering people, for example, the 4-acre model, the PDM, money to reach the hands of the people, that is kudos to the President of Uganda. And to General Salim Saleh, who actually supported me with $5,000 to start Invisible Children. And today is 5,000 children, paid 10,000 kids in school, build 11 government schools. WEND is still upgoing and running. Women are employed. More training is coming. I cannot thank him enough. Because if he had not supported me initially from the start, and I want to thank the daughter Esteri, because she's my friend who brought me together with his father, General Salim Saleh. And the rest is history. Everyone in Gulu know what Invisible Children has done, and I'm proud of him, and I'm still proud of his initiative of transforming northern Uganda. But I also want to thank my husband, finally, who has seen that a woman who is empowered. So kudos also to Mr. Andrew Ville for allowing me to take champion in everything that I do. Thank you so much. So we are located in Gulu. We are in Peche. And this place is called the Office of Invisible Children, because this is where everything started. And my telephone number is 0755099919. So that is our contact, and my email is jolie@wendafrica.org. So that is how you can reach us, or you can go to our website, www.wendafrica.org. You always get our information there and see the achievement over the years. And I say all this for God and my country.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, welcome again to our I Am a Soldier series. So, in this series, I am teaching on the subject of deliverance and the spiritual warfare. I'm Reverend Dr. Arthur Magezi, and I teach basically all sorts of things, but I decided to specialize more on spiritual development and marriage. And I've written this book. This book is found in on Amazon.com and on Kindle and in the bookshops, La Fontaine, Uganda Bookshop, Mkono Bookshop, Enjoy Bookshop, and others. Now, for those of you who are not able to get this book, please call us on the screen. There is a number. Call it, and somebody will explain to you how you can get the book. It's important that you have it because I don't cover a lot on the TV episodes because the time is very short, but you can get a lot of information and scriptures and all that from this book. So thank you for viewing, my viewers from outside Uganda. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And please keep giving us feedback. Those who have questions, keep asking questions, and we'll be glad to answer. And we love you very much. So today we are covering step number 7 in the deliverance procedure. Last episode we covered step number 6, and today we are covering step number 7. Oh, I forgot something before I proceed. Please, we need finances to keep this program on air. Somebody somewhere donated, and that's why we are on air. But as time goes on, the payment is due.